I've got a Magic 8 Ball on my desk that I unironically use to make really important life decisions for me. Should I fake my death, leave my wife and kids behind, and start a new life in Idaho? Better not tell now. Okay, we'll try again later. But why is it an 8 ball? Why is it massive? Why is it plastic? And what about an 8 ball makes it a good divination tool? And even though I don't have answers to any of those questions, it got me thinking, what if I made one out of a real 8 ball? And I guess the first step of that is to drill a hole into a real 8 ball. This was one of those things where I didn't really plan it out. I just started doing things and it all worked out. And I was really surprised by the simplicity of this and that I haven't seen anybody else on the internet do this. Right? You feel what I'm putting down? Now I gotta do a smaller hole so I can have a lip to glue that onto. And there's things that I definitely could have done better. But for the 10 minutes of forethought that I put into this, I'm actually really proud of the results. So the last thing I need to do is I'm gonna drill a teeny tiny hole so that if it ever runs out of liquid, I can refill it with the syringe. I'm gonna plug the hole with silicone. And it's just a little teeny tiny hole there, and it goes into the chamber so I can fill it. And that was simple enough. I think for this whole project, I've spent more time cleaning than actually doing. And by doing, I mean like the bare minimum, like using Sharpie to make it black inside. And if I had a sponsorship from a company who made 3D printers, this is where I would 3D print my own custom answer dice to put in the 8 ball, but I don't have that. So we're gonna cannibalize the one from this miniature 8 ball. And this part bums me out a little bit because the real Magic 8 ball, like the full-size one, has a 20-sided icosahedron in it, whereas the miniature one has an 8-sided octahedron in it. And like the odds of like a positive or a neutral or negative response are about the same. I just want like a real Magic 8 ball. But also to that point, I could have made the liquid whatever color I wanted to as well. I thought about doing purple, but I opted to do just like a glittery little blue instead with the original fluid. And I think that looks pretty cool and like mystical and shit. And then I just used like a 2-part epoxy for the little window. The first time I did it, I didn't let it sit long enough. So when I filled it up with liquid, it exploded. So then when I redid it, I let it sit for 24 hours. And then I filled it with liquid. And this part was a fucking nightmare. This shit dyed my hands blue, and when I was filling it, the air would pressurize inside, so it would spit everything out and spread it all over the walls. And yeah, like I said, it made the glass come off too at some point. I filled it, and it didn't have any bubbles in it, but unfortunately, when I put the little silicone plug in, I pushed an air bubble in. I think it looks pretty cool, especially with the little swirls in there. Of course, if I had a 3D printer, I could have printed a bubble catcher to go inside of this, but you know, great prototype. So I guess now there's just one thing left to do, and that's to ask it, should I fake my death, leave my wife and kids behind, and start a new life in Idaho? No. Well, alright. Will the person watching like this video and follow my accounts?